Hello and welcome to another useless review with me, Chris. Today on the menu is Mission Pack Warzone Nephilim Grand Tournament, chapter approved. Games Workshop, big thank you to Games Workshop for sending me an early copy of this for review and have a look at. And yeah, I do enjoy more competitive type play as well as narrative open and make match play stuff like that. I enjoy all forms of Warhammer 40,000 whenever I can squeeze a game in, or squeeze a tournament event or anything like that. Yeah, so this is definitely something that I've been looking forward to. Mission Pack Warzone Nephilim. This one will probably be pretty fast, as basically I'm not going to divulge points costs or points changes or anything like that. But yeah, it is. We got a table of how many pages is this thing? It's 136 pages. 136 pages. Pretty substantial little book. It is the smaller format of their chapter approved books. These smaller, faster kind of prints, as opposed to like hardcover books that we get for like codexes and battle tomes and stuff. So yeah. Introduction. Welcome to Warzone Nephilim Grand Tournament Mission Pack. On the following pages, you will find all the rules required to lead your carefully selected Warhammer 40,000 army into finely balanced tabletop conflict against cunning and determined opponents. Very cool. So yeah, with this book, table of contents, page 3, battle ready. Page 4 to 7 is Warzone Nephilim Grand Tournament games. Page 8 is tournament score sheet. Page 9 to 53, secondary objectives. And we get into Nephilim secondary objectives, Forces of the Imperium, Forces of Chaos, and Xenos Forces. And then by pages 54 to 73, incursion missions. 74, 93 is Strike Force missions. 94 is blank tournament scoring sheet. And 95 to 136 is the Warhammer 40,000 basic rules. Now, with a lot of these smaller books and you getting the basic rules reprint, do they update? I'm not even sure, because I've never really done a side-by-side comparison of these reprints of the core rules. Do they incorporate the erratas into the core rules to further explain? Because that definitely would make these a whole lot more valuable to players who play a lot of match play, tournaments, stuff like that. Yeah, if the core rules were addendumed, as it were, not just an addendum, but like the main rules themselves were rewritten to reflect obviously the erratas that have gone before, right? Anyway, battle ready just gives us a quick little thing on getting your armies together. Grand tournament games, play table sizes, incursion, strike force, muster your armies, gives you your points values and command points. It also gives you some warlord traits, get your mission tables. Yeah, if you are really heavy into your match play, you're going to pick this book up regardless. Tournament scoring sheet, very, very interesting. I'm not familiar with that. And then your Nephilim secondary objectives. Gives you all your objectives, all your secondary objectives for chaos, successor chapters, purge the enemy, faction sub. Holy man, yeah, there's all sorts of stuff. Bring it down. Hey, bring it down. Yeah, all sorts of stuff like purge the enemy, assassination, endgame objective. The enemy looks to their champions for courage. Identify and eliminate them with extreme prejudice. Score 3 victory points at the end of the battle for each enemy character unit that is destroyed. At the end of the battle, if the enemy warlord is destroyed, score 1 extra victory point. Pretty darn cool. Yeah. No mercy, no respite. Grind them down. A progressive objective. No prisoners. Endgame objective. Yeah, and it gives all the little secondary stuffs as well on the side. And like this book, even though it is a smaller book, the print is smaller, but like there's a lot crammed onto each page. Warpcraft, abhor the witch. It's an endgame objective. The presence of an enemy psyker in this theater of war can no longer be tolerated. Hunt them down. You cannot select this secondary objective if your army includes any psyker units, Score 3 victory points at the end of the battle for each enemy psychic character unit that is destroyed, and 2 victory points for every other enemy psychic unit that is destroyed. Then Warp Ritual, it's an endgame objective, and Psychic Interrogation, progressive objective. Faction secondaries is Grey Knights, Thousand Sons, Assyriani, and Harlequins. Battlefield Supremacy, behind enemy lines. Man, like, there's so many of these rules. Shadow Operations, raise the banners high, retrieve Nephilim data. Yeah, like, there's so much stuff in here. Forces of the Imperium. We get into Purge the Enemy, endgame objective, No Mercy, No Respite, Odes of the Moment, progressive objective, Battlefield Supremacy. Man, oh man, there's so much stuff. Black Templars get Purge the Enemy, No Mercy, No Respite, and Battlefield Supremacy. Blood Angels, Purge the Enemy, No Mercy, No Respite, Battlefield Supremacy. Death from Above. Oh, no, I don't know why it's not highlighted. Progressive objective. Anyway. Dark Angels, Death Watch, Imperial Fists, Iron Hands, Raven Guards, Salamanders. Man, they're taking care of everybody in this book. Space Wolves got a nice big page to them. Ultramarines only get one thing. Yeah, Shadow Operations. We March for Macragge. It's a progressive objective. White Scars, Purge the Enemy. Just one. Adeptus Sororitas, they get a few. Purge the Enemy, Shadow Operations, Battlefield Supremacy, No Mercy, No Respite. Adeptus Custodes even get 3. Adeptus Mechanicus, Astra Militarum. Imperial Knights, get a bunch. Oh, Purge the Enemy. It's a Duel of Honor, endgame objective. And it's a whole thing. And I assume it has to do with their whole honor system as well for the Imperial Knights. Yeah. Very, very exciting. Grey Knights. Then the Forces of Chaos get their day. Traitorous Astartes, Purge the Enemy, No Mercy, No Respite, Shadow Operations. Alpha Legion, Black Legion, Creations of Bile, Emperor's Children, Iron Warriors, Night Lords, Red Corsairs, Word Bearers, World Eaters, Death Guard. Death Guard gets their own page. Thousand Sons get their own page. Chaos Knights, again, they get 2 pages. I would assume due to their, what's it called for the Chaos Knights? It's like the honor system, but different. You know what I mean. All you Chaos Knight players. So I imagine there's a whole bunch nowadays. Chaos Demons. And then, of course, we get into the Xenos Forces. Assyriani, Battlefield Supremacy, Warpcraft, No Mercy, No Respite, and Shadow Operations. Drukhari, Purge the Enemy, No Mercy, No Respite, and Battlefield Supremacy, and Beasts for the Arena. Harlequins, Tyranids Hive Tendril, Gene Stealer Cults, Necrons, Orcs, Tau, and then we get into the Incursion missions. And it gives us all of the rules for all the missions. The first one being Cleanse the Land, Deliverance, Desperate Raid, Sacred Ground, Ascension, Surge of Faith, Rise of the Machine Spirit, Display of Spiritual Might, Reconnaissance Mission. That's it. Strike Force missions. We get Recover the Relics, Tear Down Their Icons, Data Scry Salvage, Abandon Sanctuaries, Conversion, The Scouring, Tide of Conviction, Death and Zeal, Secure Missing Artifacts, and then we get the tournament scoring sheet, and then we get the basic rules, and then all of the basic rules. All right, yeah, this is the core rules, the data sheets, yeah. And so, yeah, like I said, now my thing is with the core rules section, is it just simply a reprint right from the very last, 9th edition core rulebook? Or do they make changes to these rules according to the facts and the erratas and stuff like that, and then they just rewrite it so that it reflects that, right? I'm curious for all of you out there who are long time into this stuff. Let me know, because yeah, I'm curious. Because I mean, like, again, that would just make these little books all the more valuable. Not to mention like all those special rules and updates to the tournament packs and everything like that. But yeah, the core rules has all the special rules. I thought this one had the points values. Which one had the point values? Is that the other book? Must be the other book. Anywho, useless review. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. I know a lot of you match play tournament players. Obviously, you're going to be picking this book up regardless. But for everybody out there who wants to do more pick up and play type of games, right? Because oftentimes whenever we do pick up and play games, that's pretty much like match play, right? We always say, oh, let's play 1,500 points. I'll meet you at the the shop or wherever, game club, and we'll play a 1,500 point game. We'll generate a mission and play it out. And everybody likes to do that kind of play. That seems to be like the very typical type of gameplay, and that's where these kind of supplements come into play, because they keep you in a more balanced state of gameplay as far as like the metas are concerned and everything like that. So I think that's really darn cool. And yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Big thank you to Games Workshop for sending me a review copy of this book, and I'm sure many of you guys are going to be out there snapping this up, so I don't think I need to hype this up anything. But as far as like all the special rules and everything like that, I mean, the missions, I always really enjoy the missions. And there was a point, I'm going to rant here a bit, there was a point where I took a break from Warhammer because it always seemed like we were playing the same darn mission. I deploy 12 inches, you deploy 12 inches, we start shooting at each other, we roll off to see who gets the, what I mean, like, and it was really, really boring, versus playing missions and playing with the secondary objectives and stuff like that, where it adds a little bit more depth to the gameplay. It still keeps it nice and tactical, and of course you have very clear outcomes as opposed to just shooting at each other, willy-nilly kind of thing, right? And so yeah, even for pick up and play type players, I highly recommend these kinds of supplements, as they just add further depth to the game. And I'm sure many of you out there are already eyeballing this up, so I don't really think I need to tell you to go get it, but yeah, I definitely would. Big thank you to my patrons. Without your support, these videos would not be possible. If you're considering Patreon support, click the link in the description below. It helps me out a great deal. Of course, also thumbing up the video, liking, following, subscribing, commenting, ringing the bells, all that stuff helps as well. It'll take a couple clicks of a button and you're helping me out a great deal. Also join us on waythebrush.com, where we have social medias, Discord, all that stuff. Take care of your brushes. They'll take care of you, and I will see you guys in the next useless review.